riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, tramp stamp to my shoulder stars, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I've been having a lot of fun this week, Garrett.
Interesting. I've been having a little bit of fun. Why have you been having a lot of bit of fun?
Well, one of our listeners, Victoria, sent us this supercut of all the times James Hetfield awkwardly yells, "I am the table," in one of those god-awful Lulu songs.
Maybe the table
titled
compilation.
Yes. So I have rigged up at all the tables in the laboratory, the recording studio, the intern quarters, all the tables, all the chairs around those tables have this thing rigged into them. So now anytime someone sits at a table, James Hetfield introduces the table by shouting, "I am the table." And I have just been watching their terrified and confused reactions on a series of tiny cameras that I installed to find out who was stealing my hot chocolate mixes. Turns out it was Gino, but it's really entertaining.
Now, did you notice anything interesting about my reaction to the tables?
Well, you began smashing the tables.
That's right.
I just decided not to ask. It's really more about
scared
the
the shit out of me.
interns. Well, yeah.
I thought that the tables had come to life.
Well, really, they kind of had, if you think about it.
They haven't. No, they haven't at all.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I tried to.
Yeah. I don't know where that was going to go.
Yeah.
That's all right. Way to yes and it. Yeah. Broken tables aside and cocoa thieves arrested as they were. And, of course, tried in our world headquarters tribunal. Tim,
should we tell everyone about... No, well, let's wait to tell them about our Hague-like process we've been doing here.
Yeah, no, I don't think we should reveal anything about the discipline we've been doling out here at the world headquarters. Not really anyone's business.
Fair.
Tim, what song have we been listening to for an entire week straight?
We have, for some reason, been listening to Crazy Town's Butterfly, released October 24th, 2000. This was suggested by a bunch of people. I think Austin Counts was the first, but most of them, they wanted us to do the whole album and just boo to that.
Yeah, what's wrong with you people? That's crazy. And I would argue may not exist.
Oh, it exists, Garrett. It is...
okay, let me rephrase. You can purchase the album, and I'm doing the quotey fingers here, people. You can purchase that album. You can have it shipped to your home. Put it in, I guess, a CD player. How old are you? Put it in your CD player.
You could put it in, say, sides 1 and 2 of the White Album in a vinyl sleeve. One could do that if you bought it on vinyl.
No, wait. I'll kill you. Anyway, my point. If anything other than Butterfly plays, I'll give you $1. I don't think that there's anything else on that album.
I'm scared to reveal that we have this album now, so I can't collect my $1.
No, you can't. Now, Tim, after a week with Crazy Town and their Butterfly, Sugar Baby, do you hate this song?
I think so. I think I might hate this song, Garrett. There's a moment in the music video that we will get to that made me waffle on that decision, but I think I hate this. Yeah. What about you, friend? Do you hate this song and or music video and or group of douchebags?
Man, okay, first of all, that's not fair. You can't lump all these things together. Do I hate this song is the question, and I don't like it when you don't play by the rules. God, I don't know.
Garrett.
I know.
Crazy Town's Butterfly? This is something you're into?
I'm not into it. It's not like you found a copy of it under my mattress. I'm just saying, I don't know that I hate it.
I do. I think I do.
I don't judge you at all for that. I think you're probably right.
I am right.
Well, don't be so goddamn confident. I don't know. I don't know. It's not hurting anybody.
That's not true. 3 interns have been bashed with this record. At least. This has injured interns, Garrett.
Yeah, what you do in reaction to this song is your business. All right. You don't hate, or you hate it. I probably hate it, but I don't yet. Still sticking it in the, it's not the meh camp, because I have opinions. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to dissect it. I'm sure I'll get there. But before we do, I want to understand, prior to this week, Tim, had you heard this song? Did you know what a Crazy Town was?
So this one's kind of weird because I've obviously heard this song enough to know the chorus very well. I don't think I'd ever heard any of the verses, and I certainly have never heard of this band. When this was suggested and then came up in our giant lottery pottery ball roller machine thing. I had no idea what Crazy Town was. I had no idea what Butterfly was. I had no idea what The Gift of Game was. Then you started singing Butterfly, and
I did.
I was back in that glorious year of 2000 again. I was wearing Jinkos. I was dealing with the aftermath of nu metal and Y2K. I was making preparations for Bush v. Gore and 9/11, and Garrett, I hate this song.
Well, can I rewind the tape for a minute?
Probably
Making
should just
preparations
push right past it.
implies foreknowledge.
Probably
Anyway.
push past it. Garrett, do you have any pre-9/11 or post-9/11 history with this song?
Oh, sure. I mean, this.
You could sing it on cue, so
yeah, I knew the whole goddamn thing.
more than the chorus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Such a sexy, pretty little thing. Yeah, I know it all. It's bad. It's kind of adorable. Shifty shell shock, Tim. This isn't a gamer tag. You're not a Ninja Turtle. Don't call yourself that.
I disagree. I think call yourself that.
You would. Sympathizer.
I like it when I don't have to come up with nicknames.
This was on all over the place. I can say confidently I did not ever burn it to a CD. Didn't come to that level. Didn't have to. If you turned on terrestrial radio, there it was for like a year and then never heard from again.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the history. I'm curious to learn how many of these band members are dead.
Several.
Oh, ew.
Yeah,
I was
some
kidding.
of the DJs died of drug overdoses in motel rooms and stuff. Yeah. We'll skip past it. Yeah.
I was joking. All right. Well, that's your history. That's my history. I like that you exclusively heard the choruses. Coming in at number 1, Crazy Town's Butterfly chorus only version.
Yeah.
It's just the chorus 6 times in a row.
Better version.
It's basically the song.
Yeah.
All right. That's our history, short and brief. But before we can talk about the song itself, it is customary, if not mandatory here on the show, that we take a pit stop to learn a little bit about the band itself. So Tim, if you can, take us on a journey. Help us understand who is Crazy Town and how did Butterfly come to be?
The story of Crazy Town is mostly the story of Brett Mazur and Seth Binzer, aka Epic and Shifty Shellshock, respectively. Epic?
Hey guys, I'm going by Epic now.
Well, Epic was from Brooklyn before he moved with his parents to Hollywood and began working as a DJ at 16. Now, allegedly, a friend from Canada, you don't know him, but he exists, gave him the name Epic. He did not come up with that as his own nickname. That was something somebody else said. Seth Brooks Binzer, real name Shifty Shellshock, had some problems before Crazy Town. He attempted to burgle and sold some non-pharmaceutical grade narcotics before having to spend some time in something called the California Institution for Men. Sounds like a fun future field trip.
I don't think they offer day passes.
I don't know. Maybe we could perform our show there for the men, for the Californian men. Captive
Sweet
audience.
Jesus. I would absolutely do that. It would be a shit show. Oh my God, we'd be in such danger.
Yes. Anyway, these two met in either 1992 or 1995. I've read both. They made music as the Brimstone Sluggers. They had the name Crazy Town, though, by 99, and they had a few other guys in the band, including James Bradley Jr., a.k.a. JBJ, drummer for Chuck Mangione from 1977 to 1981. If you've seen the music video for this song, you've seen him delightfully playing in the background. He is a bright spot. They released the album The Gift of Game in late 1999, somehow on Columbia Records. That was the record label that released all that Bob Dylan.
Well, it's got to be a dark spot somewhere, right?
Anyway, with what they called Little Lolita from the song Lollipop Horn on the front cover, designed by, as Wikipedia claims, Shifty Shellshock's father and uncle. And they really do not make it clear if, that's a collaboration between two people, if that's the same person. I don't understand. But either
Did you see
way,
a slash or an and?
It says father and uncle. Shifty Shellshock's father and uncle. Either way, poor role models, I think. If your son's making this music, don't help, and certainly don't draw what's on the cover of this album.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anywho, that album did well because people's musical tastes in 1999 to 2000 were absolute trash. It sold 1.6 million copies in the US alone, 2.5 million plus worldwide. It hit number 9 on the US Billboard 200, number 40 in the Dutch. The first two singles, Toxic and Dark Side, basically no one heard. But when they released the single of the week, Butterfly, it was like 11 months after the album came out, they went from having sold 100,000 copies of the album to, again, 2.5 million. So people apparently thought this song was good and thought that they should hear more from these guys.
And by that late, we all knew you could get a single version, but they were like, I'll just go a balls in. I'm just gonna get the whole thing.
I guess people aren't that into C. Dingles.
The name alone is worth it.
I agree, Garrett. You don't have to convince me. Most of my record collection is thrown away records with C. Dingles in the sleeves, but that is neither here nor there.
Most of my record collection appears to now be C. Dingles with thrown away records in the sleeves.
No, they're records. They're records. They're just...
It's just of their terrible show.
Crazy Town were signed on to the Ozfest tour in 2000, but they had to drop out because Shifty Shellshock got arrested for getting drunk and throwing some chairs through some windows, and Ozzy was not into that, I guess. They released the album Dark Horse in 2002 with a more rock sound. It featured Rivers Cuomo on the second single playing some guitar, and no one wanted this.
I'm beginning to think we could get Rivers on our Texas Toast album.
We could get him playing background guitar on the podcast as we make fun of one of his albums. He is a whore.
God, somebody with that much money, he shouldn't have that much free time and willingness to do anything.
Well, he's mostly...
Rivers, right in, man. If you want to do ambiance music, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, don't throw in any weird things about Asians we're going to have to bleep, though.
Yeah, you can't speak. It's all guitar and also
low
like
in the mix.
And you come here, we're not going there.
Absolutely.
Not falling for that.
The Crazy Town band broke up in 2003. A year after that second album came out, Epic formed a production company called The Pharmacy. Shifty Shellshock made some solo music, most notably 2004's Happy Lovesick. And then, not satisfied with the crushing defeat of solo failure, Shifty and Epic decided to join forces once again in 2007. They performed live for the first time in like 5 years in 2009. Shifty started a new band as well called Shifty and the Big Shots in 2010. They released 2 singles and I believe were never heard from again. 2011, Shifty Shellshock was arrested for alleged domestic violence, and in 2012, he was arrested for alleged cocaine and even more alleged battery. 2014, Crazy Town released a single called Megatron that was used as a theme song for Impact Wrestling in 2015, then released the Brimstone Sluggers album in August 2015. It was not received well by critics or audiences.
This is already way more history than I was expecting, to be fair.
Epic quit. Shifty started calling the band Crazy Town X and continued touring. And then in November 2019, while driving in Canada, they crashed their van into a Canadian moose, killing that moose.
Boy, you know what? They got off lucky if it only killed the moose.
Yeah.
Why X? Does it stand for extreme?
I don't know. Maybe the 10th anniversary? But it's the 20th, so it should be X. It doesn't matter. They released a single in 2020, 2 singles in 2021, all non-charting, of course, but they are still a band, I guess. So, as a public service announcement, beware, mooses, or what is it, mice? Meese? Beware, meese everywhere. These jackasses are still out there. They're cruising through the Canadian darkness, ready to just obliterate you where you stand, and also, I guess, make music.
Yeah, that is shocking to me.
Crazy Town, still a thing. White Stripes, not a thing.
Well, you know, maybe that's the difference. They knew when to hang it up. Although, how could he not be the White Stripes? It was just one guy. All he had to do was teach her how to play drums for live shows.
Do a 7th album. He loves 7. It's almost as good as 3.
Selfish bastard. All right, great history, Tim. I can't say that I listened the whole time, but I got the gist. That brings us to the song itself, and boy, what a song. So folks, before we talk about it, let's take just a moment. I mean, we invite you, please go watch the music video. We're going to get into it, and it's worth your time. But in case you're busy, maybe you're driving, here's just a taste of Crazy Town's Butterfly.
Come, my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby.
Wow.
It's hip-hoppery, I guess.
Yeah, it's hip-hop
It's
adjacent.
the kind of hip-hop that you know is being performed by white guys.
Oh, yeah.
By like
Yeah.
1999 era white guys, too, importantly.
Yeah, you know those tips are frosted.
Yes, you know that chin is somehow pierced.
It's like they took Sugar Ray and Limp Bizkit and
Douched them up.
douched them up. I was going to say those two had a baby, and that baby was dropped at an early age, and then that baby grew up to make music.
Yes, it grew up to make music and murder meese.
Sure. Moose.
No.
Yes.
Mooses? Mice.
Mooses? No. I want to stick to the core of moose.
I think meese. It's like goose. Goose becomes geese.
That is my least likely guess. I just want to say
the
that.
point being, it's a pretty great song. I think that's what we're...
Yeah, it's rap rock, right?
So I think their other stuff allegedly is more rap rock. This, to me, it's more on the hip-hop side. There's not some...
Well, that's
some
the rap rock. That's the rap part.
Yeah, that's my point, is there's not a lot of rock on here, at least on this song.
The whole thing is rapped, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not rap. I'm saying it's not rock.
But it's not just hip hop. No, it's rock. It's played primarily. It's rap rock.
It's...
How
I
are we
don't
getting
know.
hung up on this? I thought this was table stakes. This is rap rock.
Okay.
It's not rock and it's not rap. I mean, they're rapping over bad rock.
Yeah, okay, fair, but I feel like the rock really takes a backseat to the rap on this one. It's not
Well,
like
that's why it's
this-
rap rock
it's
and not
but
rock rap.
My point is, it's not. This doesn't cross over quite into nu metal.
Okay, I'll agree with you entirely there. You know what it is? It's like when Eminem randomly decides to do a rap song to a live band on one of his albums. Like he does that from time to time. That's kind of what this sounds like, but obviously way, way, way worse.
But that can be really great.
Oh, hip hop performed with live instruments is my favorite hip hop. I'm just saying, hey, we're getting way too hung up on something that's really not that important. The most important part is that there is rapping and there is electric guitar.
And there's not bad drums. I like the drums. I like the drummer. JBJ played for Chuck Mangione.
Anyway,
Better song.
It is a better song. Now, you know what the basis of this song is, right, Timmy?
Yeah, it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers sample.
Right. Pretty Little Ditty.
And I
Now,
believe that Anthony Kiedis, Flea, Chad Smith, and is it John Frusciante playing on that are credited
I
as
believe
writers
so,
of
yeah,
this?
'cause that's Mother's Milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cleared the sample because they, quote, wanted to stay true to their hip hop roots and play homage to a great band. Now, what I didn't realize, Tim, is I went back and I listened to Pretty Little Ditty, and in that song, it's very obvious to hear that how they sampled it, but what I never noticed is the trumpet that is in Pretty Little Ditty is actually still in Butterfly.
And weirdly performed by Chuck Mangione.
Well, yeah. Wait, no, that's not true.
Is it though?
No, it's not. No, it isn't.
Is it?
No, it isn't. Why would it be played by Chuck Mangione?
I don't know. We've been talking a lot about him this week. Maybe that drummer knew him. And I don't know.
Pretty angry with you right now. Let's get into this, Tim. We're beating around the bush because it's such a stupid song, but it is taken from that sample. It's played live or played with a full band. It's not just hip hop beats on a beat machine, for lack of a better word. Is there any singing?
Sort of. So there's rapping and there's whisper singing.
There is whisper singing.
But that's, I think, the only thing that really qualifies as singing.
Okay, I'd go so far as to say that it is whisper rapping, and it just sounds like whisper singing, because once you start whispering, you can't sing.
That's fair. Now, did you read about why this song exists?
Oh, I did. It's a sweet tale. I'm sure those two are still together.
Yeah, so Shifty Shellshock was working on the timeless classic Lollipop Porn, and his girlfriend heard it and was just horrified because she got some insight into what her boyfriend was like and was just like, is this what you are? You're the lollipop porn guy? Holy crap. And he said it inspired him to write something sweet and nice to a girl I cared about, but really I think he wrote it as some sort of like, it's a cover. It's a beard. He wrote this as a beard, and it kind of even still comes off really gross.
I was going to say, if it is a beard, he failed.
Absolutely.
It basically reads as some sort of like wood nymph porn.
Yeah, and this is his attempt at a sweet love song for his girlfriend as a contrast to lollipop porn and his father's Lolita drawings, or uncle, we don't know.
Or both.
Yeah, and this was also partially inspired by that woman's personal collection of butterflies, which is terrifying. Don't collect butterflies.
So I did write that down. Are they alive or dead?
Oh, they're definitely pinned to a board, and she runs her fingers over them occasionally.
You don't know that. They could be in like a big jar.
They'll eventually be dead.
Well, you put holes in the jar and you...
Absolutely.
How do you feed a butterfly?
I think you chew up like a bunch of leaves.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I don't know what butterflies
I'm saying
eat.
no.
Okay, all right.
Don't do that. I once raised a monarch butterfly.
Interesting. To adulthood?
Yes.
Do you
I didn't
stay
have
in
to
touch?
feed it.
Oh.
No, he died 14 days later.
Oh.
Yeah. He made his migration to Mexico, reproduced, and instantly died.
What was his name? How do you know it was a he?
I checked. You can tell by the tiny balls.
So I think the point of what we're saying is that this is a female empowerment anthem, and we should also point out that female empowerment anthems do not have to be written or performed by women, and female empowerment podcasts do not have to in any way feature women.
I also want to point out that female empowerment songs, apparently by your definition, can be used exclusively in strip clubs.
Yes.
Because you better believe this thing is right after. Boy, Tim, we've been on a real tear lately. What did we have? Cherry pie a few weeks ago. Now we're doing this. Spring has sprung, birds and bees, etc., etc. We're just talking about coming everywhere.
We're not.
The songs are.
Yeah, that's
We're talking
important.
about the songs.
Right. Well, we're on
You
it.
made all the tables talk.
Yeah, well, yeah. You smashed two of her Oh, okay. And let's talk about the lyrics.
I guess. So, as Tim said, we won't bore you with it, but imagine a slightly more high-pitched Fred Durst, accompanied occasionally by a whispering creep.
Yeah, it's imagine a higher pitched Fred Durst, and then imagine they let Wes Borland sing. And he's
It's not
dressed
even
as
singing.
Yeah, that's fair. But he's dressed as a robot.
Right. The song goes, "Come, my lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come, my lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby." All right, we set it up, classy song.
Sexy
Instead of saying
song.
orgasm, he says, "Come, my lady." See, double entendre, Tim.
I don't think it is. I think it's a single entendre.
Right, means to orgasm, right?
Right, and it's sexy. This is a sexy song.
Yeah, it's funny, you didn't mention being aroused at all at the top of the show. Is that just implied?
No, God no, Garrett. I recognize that it's sexy, but it doesn't do it for me.
Okay, that's very pleasing to hear for once. What are your thoughts, Tim? Now, I don't want to get personal here because, quite frankly, nobody wins if we do, but you're my butterfly, sugar baby. We all, in a relationship, end up calling people nicknames.
Absolutely.
They're not things to be discussed openly. It is between you and that person because anybody else will think you suck. And they're right. It'd be like telling somebody about your dreams. Nobody cares.
I like to go with
But-
Care Bear. Like Care Bear, but, for a good friend.
I don't like you. Anyway, how do you feel about butterfly for a significant other?
Well, here's the thing. If that significant other collects butterflies, and especially if they are keeping them in a jar or pinning them to something, it comes off as a bit threatening.
Right. I want to put you in a jar or possibly pin your wings to a giant felt board.
Butterfly is a little bit off-putting. It's especially off-putting considering that we know that this woman presumably collects dead or soon-to-be-dead butterflies.
Yeah, not a great pet name. You want it to be short, sweet, simple. It's going to replace that person's name.
Or rhyme.
Yeah, it doesn't rhyme. It can be longer if it rhymes.
Yeah, Care Bear.
You know why I have a problem with that one in particular?
No, I don't.
It has a tendency to stick.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, then yes, I do.
Yeah, there's several other ones you've tried to come up with over the years, and unfortunately, you and a few other people stumble onto that once in a while, and that is the one that tends to not go away. Because I got to admit it. It's a good fit.
Yeah,
but
you
anyway.
are hairy, you are squeezable, huggable,
Nah,
comforting.
do not hug me. Such a sexy, pretty little thing. Fierce nipple pierce, you got me sprung with your tongue ring. Now,
There's nothing wrong with having a series of piercings.
no, not at all.
Fierce.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
What do you mean?
Why is it so fierce? What does that mean?
That's one man's opinion. That's probably a simple nipple. You think it's some sort of exotic piercing?
Possibly. I mean,
Instead of like a bar, it's like an asterisk. Just like 6 bars going.
good lord.
Who's got the areolas for that, right?
Definitely not You, tiny nipped freak. I'm sorry. That was too far. Garrett Bear, I'm sorry.
Tim, you know I'll go shirts off at the drop of a hat. There is no shame in this chestle.
Yeah, but, you've said that before, and then I pop my shirt off, and then you decline, so.
That's a different thing. You know that's a different thing, because then you also begin aggressively greasing your chest. Why? Why exactly? Don't tell me, though, also. Anyway, just to make sure everybody is hearing the song correctly, we are rapping, and it isn't good.
No. Yeah. Oh, I guess we have not mentioned that specifically. The rap on here is bad rap. They are not good at rapping.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a high-pitched durst.
Yeah, that's true.
Higher-pitched durst. Now, question about tongue rings. 2 questions. 1, are people still getting tongue rings?
I think so. I think it has fallen out of favor since 1996, though.
Good instinct, America. I guess 3 things on tongue rings. Number 2, I am happy that I think it was probably just a film thing. No, I want to say it was a high school thing, maybe even a college thing where you'd have the occasional friend that was just like, yeah, dude, she's got a tongue ring. You know what that means? I do not.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know what they're meaning, but I don't think they know what it means because 1, it's a rod. It's a metal rod. They're going to stick it in your urethra? No, thank you. Yeah, that's right. What if it happened on accident?
I mean, it almost certainly would, I think.
Also, 2, when did fellatio get so boring for you that you had to incorporate third parties like obeisance? I know it's not a word. I just like it. Like, why did you have to be like, you know what? Like, this is okay. But if you had like a jack in your mouth at the same time, that'd be cool.
Oh, they could just do that. Then you could choose whether or not to use it. I like this plan.
It's not a plan.
Here's the other problem, though. And I don't want to get personal. Let's just say the royal you, the royal we. When one is receiving the fellatio, cold metal, like a tiny piece of cold metal.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to be cold. It's in her mouth.
Oh, I would always have mine be cold.
What? Why? Okay, here we go. Why exactly?
Well, I mean, it's change it up. Have a little different. I mean, why would you? If you're gonna have metal in your mouth, I assume you don't want it to feel like the rest of your mouth when it's just in your head all day. Keep that thing cold.
I don't think it will. It's gonna feel like metal.
Oh,
God. Okay, so third thing about all this, I'm deeply upset by your comments. Also, your fucking tongue would freeze. How would you do this conceivably?
Well, not freezing cold. I'm not talking about you keep it in like a -80 freezer and then stick it in your face. Just keep it in the fridge.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's good. I thought you were talking about like shoveling ice into your mouth all day.
No.
I'm keeping my tongue ring cold.
No, but I am talking about repeatedly taking it out to set it in a fridge and then putting it back in. Yeah. I mean, anytime it gets warmed up by the mouth as you make. Maybe it would be better to keep it in a. It doesn't matter. I'll work out the details later.
Or just don't get this. Anyway, third thing. Have I ever told you the friend getting a tongue ring story?
I don't think so.
So I had a friend that we were thick as thieves until somewhere around 7th or 8th grade. And then he started to go one way. I went another. We went to different high schools and things only got worse from there. So I would see him every, 3 months or so. And I see him when he's about 17. Probably haven't seen him in 6 months. And he's like, hey, check it out. And I'm like, what's up, Jeff? And he's like, got a tongue pierced today. Why? Well, yeah, it's fucking cool, right? Dude, no. Not even sort of. Like, it was the first time I couldn't even, this is a good friend. I couldn't even feign. To be a good friend to him was to be honest. Like, you got to take that out. That was a huge mistake. You have put a hole in your mouth for no reason. Ugh.
So he became an alternative boy.
Yeah, for a little bit. And then he became something else, and now I think he's normal. Ooh, then he was in a diabetic coma briefly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what straightened him out.
It certainly helped. But most importantly, just being diagnosed with being a diabetic was what really straightened him out.
Maybe his parents had the doctor tell him that it was the tongue ring that caused the diabetes because they also didn't like it.
Oh, they hated it. He was grounded for weeks. His father used a lot of 90s language to define him at that point. That we can't repeat on a 2022 show.
Oh, unless we're quoting it.
Remember all that fellatio discussion we had earlier?
Yep.
Yeah, his dad was pretty adamant that he must have gotten that because he wanted to be on the performance side of things. But he was a lot more succinct with his comments.
Interesting. And I ain't gonna lie, cause your lovin' gets me high. So to keep you by my side, there ain't nothing that I won't try. Butterflies.
I will lie to you.
Yeah.
I will steal. I will murder. Just don't leave me.
Yeah, I will pretend to be another person repeatedly in a bar trying to get your attention.
Talking about you, Diane Warren.
That's right.
Let Tim in.
The point is, this is not healthy behavior. And here's the problem. To keep you by my side, there's nothing that I won't try. If you've seen this person, there's a lot that he could be doing to try harder. Like, there's a lot of try left in him.
Well, here's the weird part, Tim. He is putting in a lot of work, a lot of hours, trying hard at all the wrong stuff.
That's true. But it is the 90s. You gotta understand, like this, well, this is really stupid today.
Yeah,
it
back
was
then he was at
stupid.
least 70% on target.
Yeah. Hell, Jeff was like 30% on target.
Yeah, goddamn, dude. I got my tongue pierced. Why? That looks like it hurt. Anyway, song continues. Butterflies in her eyes and looks could kill. Time is passing. I'm asking, could this be real? Because I can't sleep. I can't hold still. The only thing I really know is she got sex appeal. I could feel too much is never enough. Is she real?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, this could be a fantasy about some sort of butterfly woman.
Well, it does. Here's the thing. We'll get into this more in the music video, but I don't think he wants to change himself so much. I feel like he wants to change her into some sort of trans-species bug lady.
Yeah, he wants to give this lady wings.
Yes, and then have sex with those wings.
Possibly some sort of other...
I assume maybe that, how that, like, the butterflies, they have that nose that curls around a bunch?
Yeah, let's call it a proboscis.
Proboscis, yeah.
Proboscis.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Proboscis? Proboscis.
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 No, okay, it doesn't matter. The point is, you're always there to lift me up when these times get rough. I was lost, and now I'm found ever since you've been around. You're the woman that I want, so yo, I'm putting it down. And I assume...
Putting what down?
I assume he's laying down the truth, Garrett. He's singing about the process and the reason for making this song, right? She was threatening to leave him because she found out about all that lollipop porn and Lolita drawings that his father-uncle were making. So
well, you keep using the phrase Lolita drawings. Now, I know Lolita to be a character in a book of an underage girl.
Yes, that's how this cover is described.
What part of that's not pedophilia?
I don't know.
Okay, just making sure I'm following. Song continues, you're always there to lift me up when these things get rough. I was lost, now I'm found, ever since you've been around. So then we get the chorus twice in a row, followed by, I don't deserve you unless it's some kind of hidden message to show me life is precious, then I guess it's true. But to tell the truth, I really never knew till I met you. See, I was lost and confused, twisted and used up. Sounds like he was in a biker gang, and from what you read in the history, not that far off. Stealing cars, selling narcotics. She really helped him set his life straight.
Yeah, but not really, because after this, there was the continued incidents. So maybe it's while he was not participating in crimes when he was with her, but once she breaks up with him, he goes back to drunkenly throwing chairs through windows and burglarizing.
What if it isn't that simple, Tim? He does allude to the fact that he would do anything to keep her in his life. Oh. And sometimes you will find that criminals in sort of a Fargo-esque way will do far more work to seemingly do less work than actual work would be. Meaning, he had a band and they were writing good music and they were going to be successful on Columbia. A lot of air quotes there, sorry. And in reality, he just leaves every day to go to practice, but just drives around in an empty van, rapping to himself. None of it's real. It's all just a big facade.
Maybe this band is a
front.
Yeah, it's a front, but it's also a money laundering scheme, right? So they claim that those albums are selling, and really they're just burglarizing people, taking that money and saying that they got it from the music. And then
who's to say what they're laundering? But they're taking in money for something, running it through this organization, because God knows nobody's buying 1.4 million copies of this album.
Well, true.
Go fuck yourself.
But that's the problem. It's not a successful money laundering laundering scheme. You want to get like a car wash or a tattoo parlor or a tongue-piercing
small
studio.
bills. You don't want big items with a big paper trail.
No, in fact, if it's a service-oriented business, it's even better because who can say how many HJs you gave out that day?
Nobody, because that's illegal.
Some
Nobody
places.
can say. Well, sure. A very small segment of Las Vegas and all of Australia,
my point
as I understand it.
That's true. The point is that service businesses are best. If you're selling physical CDs, people are going to catch on.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened.
And more importantly, if you're not selling physical CDs, but instead you're smuggling boats, he looks like a boat smuggler.
He looks like a failed boat smuggler, like the guy that got caught the first time.
Ooh, first time out. Also, don't know what a boat smuggler is.
So he's moving boats from Colombia to the U.S., not understanding that...
That's totally legal.
Right. He thinks that those people that were driving those boats in the middle of the night to Florida were just moving the boats there because he's an idiot.
See, I was picturing a man who's stealing boats out of local marinas and then shipping them out internationally or to billionaires with false paperwork. But in order to get those boats out of the country, he's got to hide them in bigger fake boats.
Oh, I like that. I mean, I assume these guys feel like Florida guys. I know they're from Hollywood, but
they feel
Florida
Florida
feels right. So maybe they're like taking 18-wheelers across the country to drop them off in Florida so no one is the wiser.
Right. But like encased in paper-mache fake boats.
Right.
Right.
Or real larger boats. They're buying gigantic
That's
boats.
where your overhead is going to start to really eat into profits.
Absolutely.
Because, you got to buy, I mean, I guess you could buy really big, cheap boats and put really nice, small boats inside.
Yeah.
The whole point is just to hide
those, like Indiana Jones boats, those little cigar boat kind of things.
You want like a teak one, though, that you'd scoot around in like Italy in.
Sure. Or like maybe I have somebody get some sort of pickup truck attachment and I just ride around in it as somebody drives me around town.
With like a sea captain's hat on, waving at everyone?
Well, I wouldn't wave, Garrett. I'm gotta concentrate on my boating.
You don't. You're being towed, you psychopath. I really like this idea. Let's rent a boat this weekend.
Totally in. We'll also need to rent a truck and some sort of Holly thing. Trailer.
No. It comes with a trailer and I have a hitch on the back of my car.
No. See, I was lost and confused, twisted and used up, knew a better life existed, but thought that I missed it. My lifestyle's wild. I was living like a wild child, trapped on a short leash, paroled the police files. So yo, what's happening now? I see the sun breaking down into dark clouds and a vision of you standing out in the crowd. So again, come, my lady.
Does he mean the sun is breaking through the clouds? And why is she standing in a crowd?
I don't understand the crowd part. I assume that that's to represent she's the bright spot in a crowd, like the sun is the bright spot in clouds.
Okay.
I don't know. And it doesn't really matter. The point is that she is the only thing keeping him from taking a tire iron and smashing someone's window in and collecting the half-smoked pack of cigarettes.
Jesus. This might be where Epic kicks in. I don't know, because it does have a slightly different feel. Hey, sugar mama, come and dance with me. I guess I want it to be a whispering weirdo.
Is. Well, first they changed the chorus to come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar lady. I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. So now they're both having the old orgasm.
Yeah, they both got those shaking legs. And then he says, hey, sugar mama, come and dance with me. He doesn't sing it like this. I just like it. The smartest thing you ever did was take a chance with me.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. If you have ever seen, heard of either of these two gentlemen, this is not true. The smartest
not
thing
a high point
she ever did. No. These guys have been more than one nice lady's wake-up call. You know, somebody that was just like, I want to date like a bad boy. And like 3 weeks later, you're waking up in a hotel room with these idiots and you're just like, oh, okay, I'm going back to Brandeis.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
I'm sticky and I think it might be Fago.
Oh, at best. Then we get, what's his name? Shaggy Two Dope?
Shifty Shellshock?
Yeah, this has to be Shifty because he says, whatever tickles your fancy, girl, it's me and you like Sid and Nancy.
I couldn't believe this. So
somebody who just couldn't take 5 minutes to look up who Sid and Nancy were.
Maybe he knows. Maybe he's saying that if she leaves him, he's going to murder her with a hunting knife and then overdose on Quaaludes and heroin.
Didn't he also like put her under the sink?
I don't know.
I'm probably wrong on that. Don't quote me on that.
This would be like me telling you that I plan on caning your Abel. I'm not saying I'm devoutly religious, although of course I am. I'm saying I'm planning on bashing you about the head and shoulders with a rock.
Yeah. I mean, granted, you have threatened to kill me and have claimed to know how I will die a number of times.
The listeners have claimed to know how you have died. They've described it in great detail.
Yeah. I hope a lot of them are wrong. I hope that one lady's right. That sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, the rhino one, stomped to death.
Right. Don't give it away. If you say it out loud, it won't happen. Song continues. So sexy, almost evil. Talking about butterflies in my head. I used to think that happy endings were only in books that I read. False.
When you say false, you mean false.
He doesn't read books.
Okay, that's what I was.
He's not a drug-dealing, violent bookworm, is what I'm saying. You filled that empty space with the love I used to chase. As far as I can see, it don't get better than this. So Butterfly, here is a song, and it's sealed with a kiss and a thank you, miss.
Come and
dance with me.
Come and dance with me. Come and dance with me. Fucked me.
So come and dance with me. Then we get the chorus 3 more times.
Sure. And then a bunch more come and dance with me. Yes.
Yeah, like 16 come and dance with me. So
yeah.
Come and dance with me.
And some of them are whispered. When it's whispered or yelled, I think that it's epic. And whenever it's poorly rapped, I think it is Shaggy 2 Dope, a.k.a. Shifty Shell Shock, the Ninja Turtle.
Shaggy 2 Dope. Yeah, Shifty Shell Shock does sound like, my parents were the kings of this, no doubt for cost reasons. But I'm sure it works this way still. But when I was a little kid, there was the Ninja Turtles, and there were the characters on the Ninja Turtles and the toys from the cartoon or the movie. But then also, because they're horrible, soulless monsters, there's like this whole second tier of characters that never appear on any of the cartoons, never appear in any of the movies, but they just make them up and sell them for like a third of the cost. And they're like, stupid parents will buy them. And they do. So every Christmas, I'd be like, could I please have Ninja Turtles for Christmas? The Ninja Turtles are 4 turtles. To play Ninja Turtles, you've got to have at least 2 turtles. Ideally 4, but every mission cannot be a solo turtle mission. I got Michelangelo.
And he's not the one you want.
Well, I did at the time. I got no other turtles. Instead, I got some sort of panda. I got some sort of snapping turtle that is not the snapping turtle from Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, and it is not the one from the cartoon. It was some third thing that it was terrible. I could not go on proper turtle adventures. So anyway, I'm sorry I'm getting off on a tangent here, but Shifty Shell Shock sounds like one of those toys.
Let's just take a moment here and say, and I think for the both of us, well, no, not for the both of us. This doesn't represent me. This represents Garrett.
This is going to be hurtful.
Fuck you, Fred. Fuck you and your shitty Christmas present. Garrett deserves better.
I got a dictionary.
Oh, well,
it was huge.
In his defense, you had a very poor vocabulary until about 6 years ago. It's great now.
You have crossed the line.
It's great now. I'm just saying
crossed the line.
It's because of your father. I'm saying fuck him for the terrible Ninja Turtle things.
Gino, get the restraints! You're going in the box later.
I don't know what that means. This is the first I'm hearing of a box or restraints, and I think I'm going to possibly Sid and Nancy Gino.
We'll see. He's got a half can of propofol that says different. Tim, that brings us to the music video, and boy, howdy. Where to begin?
Let's begin with the fashion.
Well, I don't know if we can call it fashion if half your clothes are missing.
This is what Garrett Harvey looked like and dressed like in 2000. To this very day, he has to putty up those eyebrow and nip holes every morning, just ashamed that they're still there. He thought, this is the thing, he thought those were going to close. That's not how the human body works. Those holes are forever.
That's disgusting. I will not let you slander my nips and eyebrows that way. Now, Tim, this music video looks like shit.
It does. They do that like blurry-ish thing.
But they don't, it's like not consistent and not used consistently, so it almost just looks like it's not buffering.
Yes, and it comes off, it looks like new metal trying to steal the imagery of hippies.
Yeah, it's like borderline ethereal or even borderline mushroom vision where things swirl within things, but it feels so poorly executed.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it feels like a Windows Media Player effect.
It's dumb. It begins with, there's a lot of foliage, Garrett.
Oh yeah, we're in a jungle and it's blurry like you're on mushrooms, but then it does slowly kind of come into focus to reveal the band.
Right, but before that, there's the scene where one of these guys, I think think it's Epic, runs his shitty 2000 nu metal ringed and copper painted fingernailed hand through some vegetation like Gladiator and or Avengers Endgame.
Wow, you really took this in this week. I just move right on by.
Well, I mean, listen, they stole from Gladiator to put in this music video, but here's what I hope. It's possible that Thanos is not a fan of Gladiator. It's possible that Thanos is a fan of this music video.
And when you say Thanos,
The character Thanos from Marvel's Thanos.
why do you think that?
Well, because they have that scene where he's on an Endgame where he's running his hand through his crops. Spoilers for Endgame.
What did you just do, like crop fingering Google search this week? You got so many examples of people fingering their crops.
No, that was a direct allusion to Gladiator. I thought until I
think it's
saw
an allusion
this.
to the comic book it's based on.
No. I don't think that's what happens in the comic book.
It is. He's like, I'm finished. And he goes off and becomes a farmer on a planet.
Does he run his hand through wheat?
Yeah, I know there's no right answer here. What do you want? What's going to make it shorter and stop?
Continue.
No,
Just
he doesn't touch
continue on.
wheat.
Okay. All right. Then yes.
Continuing on,
I win.
what shocked me in the opening, Tim, is how unhappy everyone in the band looks to be making a music video.
Yes.
They all look like they're getting $200 to be there. Like I'm an extra in the band Crazy Town.
Yes. That's with one exception. The drummer's having a good time. He's drumming
having a
up a
great
storm.
time.
And,
Yeah.
good for him. JPJ.
Yeah, we have no problem with you. Continue on. Shifty, of course, shirtless, bleached hair, and his greatest. Now, he's ripped as shit.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the greatest.
Garrett, he got real close to that screen this week.
Well, I wanted to. Listen, I don't want to throw any flags, but I'm pretty sure it ain't natural. Doesn't look natch to me. Just saying. Anyway, what we're dancing around, Tim, is the greatest characteristic that Mr. Shifty does, in fact, have. And that is boy, I don't know how to characterize it, so I'll just say it and then we'll wrap it up together. He has shoulder stars tattooed on his on the fronts / kind of tops of his shoulders, but mostly fronts.
Yeah. And at first you don't notice them. You notice the other tattoos. You notice the face piercings. You notice the bleached bullshit. You notice Epic's Dare shirt for some reason.
Yep, because he's hilarious.
Yes. But those shoulder tattoos, those stars, they just...
They start drawing you in.
Yeah.
Can we talk about just those existing in culture? Listeners, write in, because I don't think Tim's got a good answer. What's with the shoulder stars? What are they? What is that about? Is it literally a fad?
Oh, I think it's just there was a time when people knew what cool was, and we've moved past it, and we self-consciously mock those in the past for expressing their cool, knowing that it is gone for us, Garrett. We have aged out of a time when we could get shoulder stars. We want shoulder stars, but
okay,
at this point,
I think
your
I know
friends are
the
just
answer
gonna make...
to this, but I want you to seriously. I'm going to ask you a question, Tim, and I need you to answer honestly. I'm saying this honestly. Don't lie, because I'm taking this very seriously. What is the amount of money that I need to pay you to get 1 inch, just 1 inch, tall shoulder stars?
Garrett,
Seriously, what is the amount of money? 1 inch.
$23,000. We could set up a Patreon.
If I gave you 20 grand, would you get 1 inch tall?
I said 23.
I know what you said, and I'm haggling. This is a negotiation. You started at 23. I'm talking 20. 20 grand. 20 grand cash. We don't even have to tell Uncle Sam. 20 grand cash.
Slightly less than 1 inch. Actually, no, you know what? I don't know that I would want to go 1 inch because it, like, at that point, I think you're trying to trick me. Yeah. That's just going to look worse.
It's going to look so much worse, but it seems like a deal.
No,
that's great.
now I'm out because I think that there might be a second trick in here.
There's not. We can go up to 2 inches.
No, you often will give me an
Misdirect.
obvious trick that I will catch, and then I wake up propofol or falling for a second trick, whatever the case may be. Anyway, Garrett, why are these shoulder tattoos so impressive? Why did they draw you in?
Well, I can't tell you why exactly I was drawn into them, but at the exact moment, Tim, that I really said, God damn, look at those shoulder stars. They began to glow.
They do. And
it only gets better.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You see them begin to glow, and you're like, well, this is awesome. That jackass made his shoulder stars glow. I mean, my day has been made.
But then they shoot off into the sky.
It's okay. They don't just shoot off, Garrett. He pumps his shoulders like he is firing them into the air. It's like, those Nerf guns where you pull a thing back and then you pop it. Like, that's what he's doing with his shoulders. Yes. I mean, he doesn't make that noise. I'm sure they edited it out, but
we couldn't hear that noise. That doesn't mean he didn't make it.
Yes. And he fires them out.
Stuff.
So basically the band is playing and rapping in a fake jungle. There's some hippie lady, well, sort of hippie ladies. They're new metal hippie.
Yeah.
Whatever that.
They cut to this woman that I think is trying to be sexy, but clearly once again got the only direction that seemed to be available to people in the 90s. Sexy. Okay. She's there in a cutoff shirt because it is 1999 or whatever the fuck it is. No pants for some reason.
Well, no, because she's being sexy.
Right. It's never really explained. There's a lot of fading in and out. That blur returns randomly and without any sort of reason. The vivid effects are being used liberally and without any sort of logic. Then we cut back to the woman who I think at this point is technically some sort of butterfly woman. She has no wings yet, but she is lying in the sun in a very butterfly type way.
Sure, and you said yet because, Garrett, as we all know what's coming, I don't know, I mean, I assume you felt the same way. Of course you did. Of course you did. It is hot when these women grow wings. This is something that I did not need to know about myself, but I am into winged women, apparently.
Now, let me ask you this. If you were able to see the connection point, the point within the skin where
I
it
think
begins
that's what
to
I want to see the most.
Oh, gross, Tim. Hide your shame. I didn't need to know you were into that. It'd be easier for me to hear you were into feet.
No.
It'd be easier.
Right.
You're into wings. You like the weird, wrinkly part where they connect to the skin.
Wrinkly. No, it's like saying
Do you
you're into
tear the
shoulders.
wings? Anyway, I don't know why I'm asking for details about your wing porn.
I assume it's like a back ass. Right?
I'm picturing it more like shoulder blades, where it's like very bony.
But they wouldn't be because they would need to be strong to lift you into the air. So you'd have
not a butterfly. They're paper thin.
But you're a human attached to them. Butterflies are very light. So for you, it would have to...
Well, she never flies away, Tim.
Doesn't she?
Nope. You just think she's gonna.
Interesting. Anyway, but I assume you'd have to have gluteus maximus-like muscles on your shoulders.
Interesting.
So I'm picturing...
You're like mixing Archangel with this butterfly scenario.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's practical.
It's sexy.
It's even less sexy to me now. It sounds very rugged and masculine.
Yeah. Well, no.
Like I'm picturing some thighs back there, a couple meaty thighs.
Yeah, you get it. You get
working 8-foot wings.
Right. Yes.
God.
This is what I'm into. This is
Tim,
what I
don't
can
want to
no
alarm
longer
you,
live without.
There has been a white SUV parked in front of the world headquarters for the better part of an hour and 10 minutes just watching us.
Yeah, that's
okay.
gonna
I just
happen.
want to make sure you were aware of it. Gino, get the guns.
It's a shame we don't have those turrets. Anyway, that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I need to mention is that I do not need to watch these guys kiss women. I don't know why that's in this.
He's bad at it.
He's bad at it, but it seems like an advertisement. It seems like he had the camera guy zoom in
rape?
and insist that this was in the music video because he wanted to tell other women, look how good at kissing I am. I
gross.
use a lot of tongue. Like, you know how much tongue you want? Way more than that.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to stick my thumbs in your mouth because he does that.
Yeah, he
and
does.
her face, like, they did not agree on that beforehand.
Yeah.
Her face is like, like, I'm going to bet you he, like, was picking his ears or something and, like, a waxy, awful taste was on those hands.
That's fair.
We should also mention, Tim, that our lady, who up until, 2/3 of the music video is just kind of frolicking and rolling around in the grass, occasionally staring off into the sun, as you do, is eventually joined by a clan of enchanted wood nymphs, or just sexy other women without pants.
Right, so you think it's sexy too.
Oh, yeah. At this point, still sexy. It is finally when our main lady sprouts wings that I'm,
I disagree.
Now that you've described it as these giant muscular appendages, I just, it's so disgusting. Anyway, what's funny is she does sprout wings and she crouches like she's going to fly away. And in your memory, you believe she flies away. She never goes anywhere. She just stands there. It's really, really frustrating.
Maybe they didn't have the budget to really put wings on that lady.
To really put wings.
Well, like
right.
so she could fly. That's my point.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Tim, how'd this do?
This did really, really well. It hit number
That's
one
frustrating. including?
Austria, Denmark, Germany, Greece, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Switzerland, the UK, and the US Billboard Hot 100, although it only made it to number 2 on the Swedish Sverigetoplisten and number 5 in the Dutch. And I'm not sure exactly how many copies the single sold in the US. The album sold 1.6 million in the US and 2.5 million worldwide, but the single, the C-Dingle, sold more than 500,000 copies in both Germany and the UK. Those are not big markets.
That's crazy. So, conceivably, Crazy Town has money.
No, Garrett. If they ever had money, they spent it a long time ago on legal bills.
I was going to say half pipes and shoulder stars.
Well, yeah.
Legal bills. Yeah. That's way more accurate. All right. Well, what did people think of it?
So there are 124 ratings on Amazon, 4.7 out of 5 stars on average, 77% 5-star, 2% 1-star. Now, they're kind of boring. So I went to YouTube. And there are so many people, I'm not going to read any of these reviews, Garrett, but there are so many people with dead relatives that the only thing they had in common with like their father who died is that their dad liked this song and they like this song. It's really weird. Anyway.
That's super sad.
Michael Milady, 11 months ago, said, "Fun fact, when I was in school, people would sing this to me because of my last name." Come, my lady, come, my lady.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Oh.
What, was I supposed to burst out laughing?
Are you saying it's not a fun fact?
It is not a fun fact. Coin that phrase.
I think he wanted you to burst out laughing.
Well, we're all disappointed. What else you got?
King of Everything, love this song. Unreal. One of those who brings great emotion and nostalgia for some reason. I feel like I haven't really lived my dreams, hobbies, and didn't enjoy girls enough in the last 6 years as I should have. Not even close. So it's kind of melancholic for me, but still beautiful in a way. I'm soon to be 24 now, and I still haven't found what I truly love, but I'm taking a guess now and hope to fulfill my dreams and be content. I would also love to find that wonderful woman, for her to be my partner, but I really have a hard time linking up with girls. It's tough, but I often get positive thoughts and vibes like, this is all meant to be for something bigger, or at least I would like to believe it, smiley face.
That guy's all over the map. He needs to join like a grind, not a grinder.
Maybe
what the fuck is it called?
Tinder.
Maybe. Not having any luck with ladies? Try men. Yeah, a Tinder or a Bumble or a Farmers Only, something. That guy's super sad. That dude is the kind of guy that wrote that, hoping that he has already written the story where a woman reads that review and thinks, what a sweet, sensitive, and caring man. I'm going to reach out to him. And then he meets that girl and they have some sort of Sleepless in Seattle thing over Amazon reviews before they finally meet in a city of their choosing. I don't know, let's pick Minneapolis. And they live together happily ever after. That guy has already written that story. That's why that review reads that way. I know this because I was him when I was 16 or 17 or 18 or 19 or 20 or 21.
3 weeks ago, Garrett was king of everything.
I've got a lot of handles, guys. A lot of handles on the Amazon. Reach out. I'm lonely.
Javier Amor said, I'm almost 70 years old, and I strongly recommend listen this butterfly regularly. It's pure energy and a pop rock great song. And there's a lot of Spanish people. Pablo Reyes Salinas said, I'm 24 years old, and I finally found this song after 15 years. English is not my first language, so it was really hard to figure out when I was a kid if they were singing Coco Malele, but now, after using some common sense, I just search it Come My Lady because it sounded similar, and now I'll be hitting that replay button.
Fascinating culture around this band.
15 years. One more. Jessica de Oliveira. I always feel way more attractive than I really am when I listen to this song. Smiley face with a little tear thing.
Oh, man, she is definitely a dancer. Strippers, write in. HeyPodmail@gmail.com. What's your job like? Is it fun? Is it sad? Is it soulless? Is it arousing? It's probably none of those, but I'm curious. Honestly, every time I have gone to a strip club in the last, it's only been like twice in the last 20 years, but when I have gone, I mostly just ask questions, which is not really what they're there for. So I'm curious. HeyPodmail@gmail.com. What's that life like? What's that job like? It doesn't seem fun.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I'm just saying you're going to be be writing just specifically to Garrett.
I don't see how that changes anything.
They don't like responses from you for the most part.
It's rude. Why would you wait till now to tell me that?
I thought you knew.
Why do you yell at me for not answering emails if you know that people don't like it?
Because I don't want to answer them.
You realize that makes you a dipshit.
Fair. Garrett, who is this for other than douchebags? I apologize if I stole who you were going to say this is for.
Late 90s cholos?
70-year-olds. Strippers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stripper DJs.
Sad, lonely 24-year-olds who really just haven't found their place in this world.
And hasn't been taking advantage of women for the last 6 months.
Ever.
Or whatever awful statement he said. No, he definitely said the last 6 months or so. Because I felt that was odd. Why did he specify that?
I don't know.
I haven't been enjoying women as much as I should be for the last 6 months or so.
I think he said
Troubling
6
statement.
years.
No, did he say 6 years?
Yeah, I think it's 6 years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Garrett. We cannot relitigate King of Everything.
That's fine. Final thoughts, Timmy. Anything we haven't said about this?
No, Garrett, no.
Yeah, it's a pretty big nothing song. So let's ask it. We've been all the way through it. You've had a chance to consider things, really take in those shoulder stars. Timmy, do you hate this song?
Well, Garrett, I again, you specified at the beginning, we're just the song.
Just the song?
I love the shoulder stars. I apparently love the Winged Women. The song, though, I kind of hate this song. This sucks. This sucks.
You can hear the shoulder stars, though.
You can. You can also hear the wings flapping. Doesn't make me like it anymore.
You've really... God, what if they've, ripped through the skin, a la werewolf style?
Interesting.
And so just, horrible bug wings have emerged out from where once were just blades.
Oh, I like that, too.
Still into it?
Conceptually. Yeah, I'm not that...
I was going to say, I get some H.R. Geiger stuff you're going to be super excited about.
Oh, God, no. You know what? I might be out on this whole thing. Garrett, do you hate this song?
Oh, what a good boy you are. Question. I don't know, man. No, I don't. Boy, I should.
Boo, Garrett.
Oh, don't boo my answer.
I'm booing you.
All right. You hate it.
Garrett, let me ask you again. Do you hate this song?
Yes, I do. It's so bad. God, I do. We've listened to way worse, but this is not good.
No, it's hateable. Certainly hateable.
Yeah. God, I think I do hate it. I hate this. I hate it. Cheeto, change the answer. He's not even here this week. I don't know who I'm yelling at. That brings us to listener mail. Timmy, you want to go first or you want me to?
If I'm being honest, I think you should. I think you won the Prepisode.
Remains unclear what that criteria is, but I'll take the honor. My email is a little different than usual, Tim. It is entitled Immure -felony, which is an odds way to title that. Email reads, Hi, Tim and Garrett. I am a delivery driver in the plains of South Dakota, which is fascinating. I'd like to hear more about that. And your podcast helps the time go by. I would love nothing more than for you to do an episode on an album called Felony by Immure. E-M-U-R-E. No idea what this band is.
Ooh, are we calling it an audible?
No, I have no idea what this is. No, this is, you can look it up if you want. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, not why I brought it up. Email continues. I used to be a big fan of this band's first album when I was a teenager. When their second album, The Respect Issue, came out, I saw pro wrestler Kurt Angle wearing boxing gloves on the album cover and started to question how much of a fan I was. Not to mention, it was in fact a terrible album. The follow-up to that album, Felony, is by far the worst thing I've ever heard. Wow. I might also mention that it is worse than Attila. And then it says R2 Deep Throat. I assume that's a song, or maybe this is an album. It says R2 Deep Throat.
Oh, it is. It's a song, Garrett. I think we should do this album.
What kind of music is it?
Metalcore.
Ow. What were we gonna do?
New metalcore?
No, the one we were gonna do was so nice.
Let's do them your thought. Well, you know what? We'll call an audible when it gets to it.
I hope that you do this album, as it would give me immense joy to hear how much you both suffered. And please don't hate me forever. Love, K-Dog. That's ridiculous. K-Dog, quite an interesting recommendation. We'll see, maybe someday, but that's not why I featured it. Tim, we never feature, well, not never, I guess I did it just a couple weeks ago, but we almost never feature direct recommendations. But what I noticed in his email was, really loved the first album, heard the second album, and was like, oh, wait a minute. I might be a fan of garbage. And so that's the really interesting part of the email. It made me think, how many times, and can I name some moments in my life, and it'll give you a chance to think while I rattle some off, where I realized like, oh, fuck, I suck. And it doesn't have to be, I liked the first album and the second one sucked. I'll give you a few examples. Bush's Razor Blade Suitcase.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. Really love 16 Stone. Get to Razor Blade Suitcase, and I'm like, oh no, what is this?
I kind of had this with the Toadies because I did not like that Stars Above, Hell Below. What is it?
Hell Below, Stars Above.
Yeah. Did not care for that album. Still don't really like it, but I think that my second impression was the wrong one on them.
Here's a real embarrassing one, and this is the rare Same album, Deep Blue Something. It was a Christmas gift. It was one of the first albums that I owned wholesale. It was actually mine, not one I took or borrowed or stole, and was so happy to get it. And then, like, I don't even know, February, I'm listening to the whole album, and I'm just like, this is not good. Here's another embarrassing one, Five for Fighting, same deal. I had the whole album, listened to the album, and just one day I was like, hey, this sucks.
I think I had this with Silverchair as well.
Oh, interesting.
Because I really liked Frog Stomp, and I haven't gone back and revisited it in probably 20 years. But I remember when I got to, I think it was Freak Show, and then there was one after that, and I tried, Garrett, I tried to like it so badly, and it's just not good.
Here's a weird one, because it's the soundtrack, the Garden State soundtrack.
Oh, God. Dude, Zach Braff had us all under his spell.
It was very confusing.
Yeah.
I loved that soundtrack. And then one day I put it in and was like, blah.
Yeah.
Why is this guy so sad?
Ugh, it sucks.
The problem is that it
suck.
Oh, here's a fun one. Metallica Load.
When you got to reload.
Fan?
We don't need to relitigate our load and reload experiences.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Nope.
Still good. Yep.
You know what, James? I will give you none of the above. Let's see. I think those are all the ones I came up with. Any others for you?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Fair enough. Good list. What email do you have for us this week, Timberly?
Well, I actually have a review from 3 days ago from Wardster 25 from February 19th, 2022. These guys are very funny and have great chemistry. The subject matter is so interesting. I love the band background info at the start of each show. The only thing keeping it from 5 stars is the slip-ups of the lyrics. Examples: every coward sings a sad, sad song. And then the emoji with the guy with his hand over his face. A little more research will make this the perfect show for music lovers. 4 out of 5 stars. He's fucking with us, right?
He is not.
Do you don't think so?
He is not. If you are fucking with us, well done. Acknowledged. Please change it to 5 stars. You made our overall rating go down a point. Went from 4.5 to 4.4 because of that.
You son of a bitch. Anyway,
very funny
fucking
though.
With us
God,
or
that's
not,
funny.
Very funny.
Didn't we even clear it up in the episode? Does anyone know what we're doing?
Yes.
Do you guys know what we're doing? Do you get the fucking jokes? There are jokes on jokes on jokes going on here. Do you think there's a chance nobody gets the jokes?
Oh, I love that idea.
Oh, I
Garrett. No. No jokes, no bits, no characters, no interns, no accoutrement, no cowboy. No, I won't do it.
Yeah, that was called the first 20 episodes. People weren't into it.
There were jokes. I wrote jokes. They just weren't good jokes because I didn't know about it.
Right.
Anyway, Garrett, music news of the weird.
This is why you don't do segues.
Music news of the weird.
In Canadian news this week, Garrett, Justin Bieber should be considered a borderline hero to all Canadians. You see,
I agree.
Restaurant Brands International had been doing quite poorly with an 11% decline in sales in the fourth quarter of 2020, because that was a year when lots of things went wrong. Now, not trusting the advice of this very show that nothing could or would go wrong in 2021, Restaurant Brands International and their most important and Tim-centric business, Tim Hortons, got into the Bieb game to turn this around. You see, Garrett, they launched a donut hole line sponsored by J. Beeb called Tim Beeb's Tim Bits. Love it. These consist of 3 donut hole flavors that the marketing department insists were created by Justin himself: chocolate white fudge, sour cream chocolate chip, and birthday cake waffle. Now, this was extremely successful. Restaurant Brands International fourth quarter revenue rose approximately $190 million from a year earlier. I don't know if that's Canadian or American dollars. Their sales increased 10.3% in the fourth quarter of 2021, and if I'm doing my math correctly, that means they sold approximately 21.3% more delicious products in 2021 than 2020, all because of Bieber and Tim Bieb's Tim Bits. And honestly, now that I'm saying it this many times, I think we can take Bieber out of the equation completely. I think it's possible, and certainly worth exploring, that Canadians and maybe humans the world over are just super into eating things named after Tim.
I mean, traditionally, prior to the Bieber interference, that is what you ordered at Tim Hortons, Tim Bits.
Tim Burgers? Mac and Tim?
Ugh.
Spaghetti and Tim Balls? No, Garrett.
That's
Garrett.
the least appetizing so far.
Spatimi and Tim Balls.
That's worse.
For the vegetarians and vegans, there's Impossible Tim.
I like that. I'm not going to lie.
My point is, it's a winning business strategy.
Grill me up some Tim steaks.
Yeah, no. See, I feel, still, I'm in.
All right. Tim burger with cheese.
Absolutely. Tim burger with Tim.
Cheese. I feel like at a certain point, everything just starts devolving, and I end up going to McDonald's and ordering a Tim-sized with a large diet Tim and a side of Tim's.
Yes, that's the ideal world. That is the world that we are striving for as a nation of Tims.
No more Rick and Morty for you.
Garrett's, do you have Canadian music or Tim-related news for us this week?
Of course not, you fucking idiot. Hypebeast is reporting that Kanye announced last week that his upcoming album, Donda 2, the Donda-ing, will release exclusively on his stem player.
Donda 2 Electric Timbaloo. There you go. Tim-centric. Done.
Pretty good. Quote, today artists get just 12% of the money the industry makes. It's time to free music from this oppressive system. It's time to take control and build your own, Kanye explained. Quote, you can download new music from stemplayer.com. You can play 4 different elements of the track: vocals, drums, bass, and music. It also has an MP3 player available, end quotes. So that's old news by this point, Tim, but what I found out just 48 hours prior to us recording is that Kanye shared on social media that allegedly and to be fair, Kanye West, no liar, allegedly his stem player has made $2.2 million in sales in just one day, calling it, quote, the first Yeezy tech product. He wrote, to earn the $2.2 million that we had made on the first day of Stem Player, this album would have had to have streamed 500 million times, and we did more revenue on Stem Player without an album even being out.
So that means that 11,000 people bought this because it cost $200. I don't believe that.
That feels possible.
It feels suspiciously high for a piece. Listen, Garrett, he wants you to buy a music player that cannot send text messages. It cannot look up Instagram.
I mean, I kind of would prefer that, to be frank, but
well, I would too, because then I could go back to the flip phone.
I swear you'd love to do that.
I would. I don't want this. Garrett, if I could do one thing for humanity, it would be destroy social media and the internet.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. Oh, well.
I would do social media, and if I then got a second wish, which oftentimes I'm not after people see what I've done with my first.
Right. Anyway, last bit of news related to Donda 2, Electric Timbaloo is that allegedly Donda 2 will be dropping on February 22nd. Tim, over under on that date.
Well, that is today, so we could probably look it up. I'm going to say it happens.
Ooh, I'm going to say it didn't.
Interesting. Well, we could look it up right now.
Ooh.
Not going to do that.
I'm literally staring at 3 computers, four computers and 2 smartphones within hand's reach, and I cannot be bothered. Tim, what other news do you have?
Well, Garrett, in Julia Fox news, are you familiar with Julia Fox?
I am not.
Well, Julia Fox and K-Way, Kanye West, or Ye as he likes to be called, call it, but we'll be back to K-Way soon enough, are no longer dating. And also, Julia Fox looks like she accidentally wore 68 pounds of denim to a Black Swan audition. You see, Garrett.
Did you read about her weird, boot camp so that she was allowed to go out in public with him?
I did. Old news at this point, but it is interesting to read about because it is... Being famous sounds terrible. Anyway, K-Way's a dickhead and is currently allegedly stalking and harassing his ex-wife and will probably allegedly OJ Pete Davidson in the near future. But Julia insists that she is fine with the breakup. She said she wasn't in love with K-Way and she hasn't cried since the awfully specific year of 1997, and a quick Google search of her age means she has not cried since she was either 6 or 7. Anywho, though, the interesting part is she also said this whole relationship was in part for us, the proles, to have some entertainment. She said that the relationship, quote, gave people something to talk about amid the ongoing pandemic, and said, quote, it's her job as someone in the public eye to provide talking points. Jules, it's okay to be sad that the fascinating genius you thought you were dating turned out to be just a self-obsessed asshole who's off his meds and is fucking nuts. Jules, we are here for you.
Also, how old is she?
24?
That's just
27.
What the fuck does Kanye West? Okay, that's better. I was going to say, what the fuck does Kanye West have to say to a 24-year-old?
Oh, he's trying to make Kim Kardashian jealous.
It isn't working.
It is not working. Garrett, do you have any other news? Music news?
One more quickie for you, Tim. News bite for you, if you will. A Timbit. Ooh, you could sue Tim Hortons.
Ooh.
Anyway,
no,
we shouldn't talk about it.
They have much better lawyers than we do.
Yeah, and Bieber. Tim, a source is reporting, I'm not saying it, but a source close to Britney Spears is saying that the singer has recently inked a contract with publisher Simon & Schuster, valued at more than $15 million, in order to write a tell-all book, likely spurred on by the recent tell-all book her younger sister, Miss Jamie Lynn Spears, recently published that, again, according to people close to Miss Spears, not me, would never say this out in public, according to others, has Miss Spears quite pissed off.
Do you think someone's going to trick her out of most of that money?
Oh, you better believe somebody's getting 90% of it.
Now, Garrett, that could be
Why
us.
Why not us?
Right.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, man. Listen, it's, folks, before you judge us, somebody is going to take advantage of this girl.
Yes. What if, how about, okay.
You know what? That was disrespectful. Let me rephrase. Somebody's gonna
steal this woman's money. Here's the thing. If we did it, we could do it ethically. Now, let's say we take her $15 million and we set up sort of like a trust fund for her and maybe
put 5 of it in there.
Well, let's not go crazy. Let's say,
wow.
Let's say maybe we set up sort of a system. We'll legally enshrine this such that you and I, maybe we can say how she gets to spend her money and how much money she gets a month. And maybe if she can or cannot use an IUD, for example.
Jesus Christ. How did they get away with that for so long? God. Yeah, listen, if we can pull this off tax-free, I will set up a $5 million trust to ensure that money is protected and at her disposal in a manner that is constructive for living. So nobody goes and buys $4 million worth of Beanie Babies. Not that anybody would,
listen,
but
they're
I'm just saying.
Appreciate in value. Is that the right word? Appreciate?
It is.
Not for Beanie Babies.
No, but if we could do this thing tax-free, nice and legal beagle, she can have 5, we'll take 10, and we'll set it up as like a LLC, and she'll be an investor, silent partner situation. So our prospering will be her prospering. We'll just prosper more. But we're doing the heavy lifting, again, so that somebody doesn't go into an American Doll store and buy, I don't know, all of them, because they can. We'll protect that money. Put it towards something useful.
Okay.
Tim, she shouldn't be on her own. Somebody needs to keep an eye on things. Shouldn't be a prisoner in her own home. Should not have any say over whether or not she uses birth control. I just hope somebody's checking in. You and I poured hours, hundreds of hours, into getting awareness out there to free Britney. You and I were on the tip of the spear to free Britney, but we were so busy wondering if we could. Did we ever stop to ask, should we?
I would say that we deserve most of the credit for it, actually. We got the message out there. I think, technically broke that story. We had the exclusive.
That's what I'm saying. We were at the tip of the spear. We were the foremost of the free Britney movement.
Yeah, okay.
But the problem being, much like Dr. Hammond and his Island of Dinosaurs, we might not have thought through the ramifications of our actions. repercussions.
So you're saying we should now be at the tip of the imprison Britney responsibly?
No, all I'm saying is I hope someone's checking in.
Okay.
And again, if we can take 67% of any of her earnings and use that for our own purposes, we will be, as you put it, very ethical about it.
Oh, I would insist that we be ethical, definitely. And I know you would too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know exactly what that means. Ethical is an odd
I think we make
word
it
choice.
up as we go along.
Right. It's like pornography. We won't know the right choice till we see it. And then it'll be very obvious.
Right.
I assume.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I assume. The ethical choice.
Yeah.
Tim, do you have any news for us?
I have one more news story, Garrett. This is in Ari Lewis news. Garrett, Ari has been touring and has been welcoming people like, let's say, North Carolina Congressman Madison Cawthorn up on stage in local concerts and promoting him because, you know, he's a Republican and that is, of course, his right. But he's not really doing, he seems to be bringing these people on, specifically Madison Cawthorn, because he's an asshole, not in spite of that fact. One of the qualities,
what do you mean?
One of the positive qualities that Ari put in Mr. Cawthorn's column was that Maddie, and I'm quoting here, cleaned guns while on a Zoom call with other fucking liberal congressmen, I think to intimidate them, which is, of course, a good thing.
Oh, cool. Also, like, that's the sort of thing a 17-year-old would be like, this'll be cool.
Right. Well, you know, you have to give it to him. So Madison Cawthorn, of course, Maddie, was elected to Congress in 2020. He is the youngest congressman. I think he's 26. He's 26. And then immediately began claiming, of course, that the 2020 election was stolen and rigged, which is interesting because his election was legitimate.
Right.
But the rest of them weren't. Right.
God damn it.
Right.
Yeah, boy, you know what? This whole story's brought me down.
Yes. Did you also know, more fun facts? Ooh,
God damn it.
Madison Cawthorn fun facts. Garrett, Madison Cawthorn dropped out of Patrick Henry College after his first semester in 2016 after getting not exclusively D's, but mostly D's, saying, suffering from a brain injury after the car accident definitely, I think, slowed my brain down a bit, made me less intelligent, and the pain also made reading and studying very difficult. This is somebody who is deciding public policy.
Yeah, that's,
Madison Cawthorn fun fact number 242. Madison Cawthorn deleted an Instagram post of his visit to Hitler's Eagle's Nest, which he claimed had been on his bucket list for quite a while, but not before everyone already knew about it and had taken screenshots preserving it forever.
God, that's really funny. What a fucking idiot.
Madison Cawthorn fun fact number 352. Madison Cawthorn kind of got honeypotted by Russian intelligence, allegedly, and was married from 2020 to 2021 to a very obvious Russian agent, allegedly.
How true is that statement?
A guy he met in Moscow set up a fake CrossFit event so that he could meet a lady, and then it turns out that that lady might be working for Russian intelligence, allegedly.
Has she gone back to Russia since the divorce?
I think they're just separated at the moment.
I'm going to tell you, Tim, I hated all of this, but you really did make me kind of want to look into this Madison Cawthorn fellow.
Garrett, Madison Cawthorn fun fact number 422. Maddie is also the owner and sole employee of SPQR Real Estate Holdings, a real estate company that makes no money, which is an acronym for the Roman Senate and People. SPQR is now mostly used by either Italian skinhead gangs or U.S. white nationalists.
Guy's got a real weird instinct problem.
Yes.
Seems to gravitate towards the worst of things.
Yes. Point being, this is Ari Lewis's buddy. I guess that was my point in the whole thing.
I guess. All of it was really awful. That guy, what state does he represent?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Man, wow. Huh. I thought a lot better of North Carolina. I thought you were going to say like South Dakota.
Or Indiana. Indiana's got some issues.
Oof. Indianapolis knows why they're on my list. Never going back. Fuck you.
That's fair.
Ugh. Indianapolis listeners, write in. What's with your fucking city? heypodmail@gmail.com. All right, Timbo. That brings us to the end of the show where we get to announce what album we're going to be listening to for a whole week straight. And I got to say, this one coming up, I have been dying to do for like 2 years.
That's great, Garrett. I'm happy to hear that you have been dying to do Amir's Felony.
No.
Garrett, why'd you read that? Why did you read that if you didn't want to do Amir's Felony?
Because I wanted to talk about things where you realized you'd made poor choices in your taste. Not, I don't even know what is it?
Amir's Felony? Emure.
E-M-M-U-R-E. Amure Felony. All right. Can we tell them what we were going to do, what we're not going to do now, or do we have to wait till next time? I'm
Let's
curious.
let everyone know so that I will remember what it is, because I don't know. You tell them what we were going to do before
before Tim ruined everything, because in the bylaws, if any one of us wants to call an audible, it is technically considered a challenge, and challenges that are not met must pay a penalty, and I can't even read on the air what those penalties are. They are disproportionate for disagreeing on the album. Anyway, the album we were supposed to do was Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. The one, Never Have I Ever Knocked on Wood. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, damn it.
Anyway, we'll do it sometime in the future. Instead, we're doing, I already forgot it, Felony?
Imure Felony.
Imure.
We're going to need to learn how to pronounce that.
I'm going to need to just remember it long enough to put it into my phone. Listeners, write in. Have you ever heard of Imure, or do you have to be a truck driver in South Dakota? Oh, fuck that guy for recommending this, and fuck you for the challenge.
I think fuck you for picking his email.
It was a great idea.
I don't want to do it either, but we have to.
Why did you challenge? We didn't, though.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, it's done. As always, folks, if you can, head on out to the Apple Podcast app, even if that's not your preferred platform, or whatever platform you do listen on. If there is a way to rate us, could you please, for the love of Jesus, or whatever fake deity you want to pray to, give us the 5 stars. If that's all you got time for, you're done. 5 stars. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Does a great deal for us. If you got a little more time, we'd love for you to write a review. If the weirder, the more insulting, the strange, more inside, the better. We will read them here on the show as exhibited by today's episode. But most importantly, if you can get those 5 stars in the mix, it really helps. You can also reach out to us on Instagram. That's HatePod. On Twitter, that's Album HatePod. I am G Harvey tweets on Twitter. And hey, reach on out. We'll talk about all sorts of things. Tim Bits, Tim Bieber's Bits, anything in between. I don't give a shit. You can also reach out to us. We got where I get the subreddits for the show. We got a Discord server that I can't tell you how to join, but you can figure it out probably. What else do we have? We've got heypod.com. You can click and contact us in the upper left-hand corner. That's a form to reach out to us if you don't want to give us your email, or if you want to give us a fake one. I don't know why, but feel free. Some people do. Can't reply to you if you do that. Just makes it kind of pointless, but hey, whatever. What else? I know the website's horribly out of date. I get it. We got shit to do. Just be glad we get the episodes out. For the love of God. It takes a village of interns. Anyway, Tim, did I leave anything out?
No, OnlyFans.
So I'm just going to compliment you on being suspenseful, and then you ruined it by pointing people towards the illegal pornography you made of me.
It's not illegal.
Well, technically showing my feet is not illegal, but doing so without my explicit consent is. Anyway, you can find video of my feet on OnlyFans, apparently, and Tim locked me out of the account, so I can't take it down or profit. So, if you like fucking me sideways, head on out there, see if you can find it. Apparently, they're jack-worthy for all hell.
After dark or something.
I don't even know how it works. Anyway, for Why I Hate This Album, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other host, Timothy P. Richardson, and on June 12th, 2016, Garrett P. Harvey said, "I'm a world-renowned hypocrite."
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
I was saying, Boords,